Hi, this is Philip again, and welcome back to our short course for Shopify Hydrogen 2.0 Plus Remix. I'm glad that today we are moving forward for another session, which is session 2. And in this video, I will demonstrate how, why, and when to use Hydrogen React hooks such as useState, useEffect, useRef, useHydrated, useMoney, Suspense, and useFetcher, and I think we can only bring few of those hawks. But if you are interested to explore more about different hawks that will applicable to your hydrogen, then you can do that. And I think without any further delay, let's go ahead and we are going to build our first component into our hydrogen app. And in this demonstration, I will going to set up a best example that we are going to implement for your first component. And I think this will be an announcement bar from our homepage where we can easily add a discount detail. Okay, so let's begin by creating our first component by going to our VS Code. And right now we are currently on the routes. So we're gonna find where we are going to insert this announcement bar. We're gonna look at the example. So the announcement bar should be at the top of our homepage. So let's try to look at where exactly this announcement should be placed. So the most common components that we are going to look is the layout. So all of these different sections are located in this file. So like for example, this is the layout component, and then we have the header, the footer. So here, this is the exact file that we are going to add our first component. So first, we are going to create our file for this component. Go to your components folder, then click the file, new file. Then we're gonna name it like announcement bar dot tsx, or a transcript format. And then we're going to uh, declare this component by typing the constant value of your variable for your component name, announcement bar. Is that right? I think it's wrong. Should be like this. Should I think I will going to rename that. Uh, Wrong file name. I'm gonna change it here. Announcement bar. And then we're gonna export it by default. So the next page we're going to, the next line we're going to say here, export default, then announcement bar. So in Hydrogen, we are implementing with uh, what we call a stateless component. So most of our components are a function components because there is a difference between the stateful components and the stateless. So this will be the most common way how we are going to create our component, and it must be easy to do this than the other opposite implementation. Okay, so here we're going to return this component. Just try to create a container. So make it sure when you are going to create your first component, you have to make this primary container as a parent. Then you are going to add more components inside on your parent elements. So here, since that the hydrogen is using what we call a tailwind integration, so I prefer to have this tailwind site that you can easily select, or I mean search if you doesn't really familiar with the class name of tailwind. And I think what we're gonna do here, we're going to look at if there is a container classes. I think there is. So we're gonna try to use this container class. And if you try to look at the existing setup for the other components like in layout, we can see the desktop components. It uses, I think, might a different class added to this. We're gonna look at the functions here. So this is the functions for desktop. And if you look at here, this is a header. And I think it doesn't have any container added to that. I think this is fine. And I think what we need to do is we're going to try to look at the different background color in Tailwind. We're gonna look at this background color, background color. So it's a big difference when you are going to write down all, or I mean, if you're going to define your class names in a native CSS. But in Tailwind, you are just add those class name and it will automatically applies those definition. Like for example, if we're going to apply this color to our announcement bar background, we're gonna try to look at a different color. Oh, we're gonna say this blue, some gray. I'm gonna say I want to use this BG slate 900 and in announcement bar we're going to apply that. Oh, sorry, I think it's a wrong copy. Let's copy it, go back. I don't need this anymore. Gonna save, then we're gonna say announcement bar, just like that. Then go back to your layout. Then here we are just working on a desktop. So in the desktop component, we have to add a new component for our announcement bar. And where are we gonna place this? So then it should be above or at the top of the header. So what I'm gonna do here, I will going to insert. But before you are going to insert your component, you must look at the parent element is a header. Then with inside on this element, there are a lot of children on it. Then what you need to do, I will going to add another fragment like that. Then probably you're gonna remove this, then add it here. So this is the proper way how you are going. If you're just new to React, then this will be the best way to familiarize. So we need to add a fragment that make it sure that there is no other one parent. I mean, there should no, there will be no more than one parents. So that's what the exact word for this. So it should only one single parent, then all are children elements. So here I'm gonna call my new components, just say announcement bar, then like that. Then we're gonna save and we were going to see if this is really work. We're gonna run this up. And here, if you just waiting for while just waiting to up this or the mini oxygen, you will find here in our Git source controller that there are two files that's been modified. We're gonna check that, and you see here there's a layout and announcement bar. So you need to watch out this, and this is the indication that there is a changes on this file. So that is the one thing that you need to check if you are not familiar with a Git controller system. So we're gonna wait on hoping this will instantly up. So I think if you're gonna look at here in our announcement bar, we're going to uh, implement how exactly the same on this in this announcement bar existing announcement valve for sample. I think if you see that there is a text label and the counting the counting elements as well. So we're gonna look at okay. I think it's done. I'm gonna check the local host, and now you see there is already a announcement bar. I mean, the bar that we added is now reflected at the top of the header. Now we are ready to add those announcement bar. So what we're gonna do here, we're going to add another div. We're going to place the text for the announcement label. So we're going to replicate what exactly on my discount and content. We're gonna look at in our store, then check the discount admin. and then I want this to be exactly reflected to our announcement bar. Where is that summary? I think this is the summary label. I'm gonna copy this. Then let's put it here like that. But anyway, if you are familiar with admin API integration, then we can integrate this announcement bar to our admin API because this count is only available in our admin API permission. In the storefront, this is not available. So that's the reason why in this demonstration, I just added it statically. All the content is added statically just to reflect what exactly will be on our announcement bar. If you try to look at in our Insomnia, so I tried to fence or send a request and to find the response of our GraphQL, and it is responding to this information from our admin API. So this is integrate with admin API. So we're gonna take up that in the next uh, short course on how you are going to build an integration to your admin API. Okay, so let's focus first in our storefront. Now let's go back here. Then what we need to do else? I think it's already added. We're gonna look at back in our store. Okay, why is not reflected? It seems that let's see black save. Hmm. Okay, inspect if might be the color of my font. Yeah, exactly. So now you can also familiarize the tailwind. So we're gonna say text color and open it up. Then here I want a white color because my background is okay. So the class name will be text that I think white is not the one. No, I think it's wrong. Text color. Okay, text slate. I think text white. It's exactly the same. Okay, text white. Save. Go back to my home page. It should be there. Okay, so I want to add a short padding with vertical and horizontal padding. So we're gonna look at here. If you're gonna ask the search bar for tailwind, we're gonna look at this padding class name. I want a X. So X is vertical, Y is horizontal. So we're gonna add it here. And maybe that's too large. 4. Save. Let's go back. Now, why is not? It's too small. It might be too small. Oh, sorry. It's 4. This must be Y for horizontal padding. Okay, refresh. Now it is working. So now we're going to add the other side, which is the I think I lost the sample page. Anyway, I still can remember it. So here we're going to add another container for that. Then let's say maybe flex because I need a multiple uh, container for that. Let's say div class. This is for maybe for hours. I'm gonna look at this one. Then here we're gonna say span. Oh yes, I think span. We're gonna say span. Then like for example, span for hours. We're gonna see 5 days. Then down to it, we're gonna look at the number of days. Then just copy it like that. Then here, we're gonna see 5 days and 10 hours. 10 hours. Here, gonna 23. This is just static value. So later we're gonna work it out how we become dynamic changes on this. 23 minutes. Then here, gonna say 15 seconds. Then save. Let's try to go back and check. Okay, I think the color again is the problem. I'm gonna say text white. Maybe this will affect the child component as well. Try. Yes. Let's go back here. Gonna apply this all of that. Class name. Save. Maybe you have idea and don't follow what exactly I did, but there is a way that you can easily optimize those class names in your components, then that would be good for you to start your classes. And here, can I refresh that? So now I'm going to put this at the left side and the right side corner, each of this component. Here in the parent, I will going to use flex, and maybe this one should be flex as well. Go back. Now it's there. So flex, and it seems that it's not add maybe one. It doesn't really that's not really the thing needs here. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna inspect, and this one should be okay. So we're gonna make this as 50%. This is the second container on this parent. So we're gonna look at in the weight. Then we're going to use this 50-50, and here I will going to apply it here. Then also here. Then go back. Now it is there. Now I'm going to justify it down to that. I mean in the right corner. We're gonna use a justify and maybe so justify content. Okay, so and justify and I will apply it here. Then here going to justify start. Save. Go back. Alright, so it's working. Now I don't think so that it is applied. The padding must be placed. Alright, okay, got it now. So here we're going to apply this thing. Should be placed on this parent. It's not on the child element. Go back. Now this is looks good. But the problem I'm going to use with full to occupy the entire. Oh, why is not it is not working? this one 50 flex because this is a flex. No, but wait. Oh, sorry. Why copy this thing? Should be not there. Okay, I think I remove it from the first element. Save. Now that's it. Now it is really good. And now we are going to align this thing. I think I have to use a class name block in each of this. So by default, if you are familiar with HTML tag, they have their default stylist. So span, it's inline block that it will not automatically appears as the same as block. Here, class, then block, and here class as well, block, class, block, save. Okay. Now I want to add a gap between them. Since I'm using a flex, then I'm gonna say gap 2. Okay. I want this to be in centered. So what I'm gonna do here, I want this to be text, or can I apply this in here? Maybe text center. Maybe if you think why we need Tailwind, I think Tailwind is much better than the way we're usually doing on CSS, because we're going to investigate more and apply those definition. And at the same time, Tailwind, it's intended or designed to comply with the page speed performance of our application. Because as what I understood, when we are going to define all our custom CSS, it will load those CSS, even those classes. I mean, the class names are not uses. I mean, it's not yet needed for this page, but still we're going to load all of those codes. But in Tailwind, it will automatically segregate, or it will only add those CSS that is uses to this page. So that is the one thing that why Tailwind is much advanced to other way how we are going to define our CSS. I think why it's not applied to every components is only on 5. Well, I gotta make it this thing like that. I don't need that. Only for the first one. Hmm. Alright. Now let's go back. Now it is working fine. Okay, so here why it should be. I'm gonna use it where this thing it's flex. Then I will use M auto margin auto if this will work. Yes, it works. Now I'm ready to look to this, and I will going to apply the hooks that usually we need it for our components. Okay, I think everything is doing good. Now let's go back to our components. We're going to apply the use effect. So the the use effect, use state, and use rep. So let's begin with the use state. So the use state, this hooks allows us to track the state in a function component. Like for example, if we are going to to define a use state here, it comes from an array with two arguments. One is the value and the other one is the update methods. I mean arguments. So we're gonna say like for example, if we are going to work with this, so I already did some codes how we're going to implement the counting of days, hours, and minutes, and it is written in a JavaScript, a plain JavaScript. It's whatever JavaScript you name it, like a vanilla JavaScript. So here, what it seems that this is a countdown date, and we are going to apply this in our use state. So basically, the use state will begin to start this date. So we're gonna add this count date. I'm gonna use that in our use state. Let's say set. So must make it sure that this argument are different name in a different name. Let's say countdown date. Then we're gonna say use state. Then here it's a string. So you're gonna copy the string. Here's the string. Where? Okay, copy this thing. Get time. Then put it here. Oh no, I think it's not a string. We're gonna try that. Then here as any. So I'm gonna define it because we are in what you call this TypeScript component. So use state. I think what happened is that I cannot find this hook. So we're gonna import the use state here. Use state. Then from React. So this is a native hook for React. So now I think it's doing good. We're gonna look at back in our set interval. Now, okay, so we are going to apply a use effect to this kind of logical implementation to this function because as what the use effect is defined that lets us it will perform the side effect in the functions component. So once your component has been completely loaded, then the use effect will only applies those functions, whatever things that you are going to add after completely loaded your components. So we're gonna look at here. I'm gonna show you what exactly I mean for the use effect. So we're gonna add use effect here. I think use effect is not automatically added. There's specific ones, but we don't need that. That is for a remix use effect once, but I need a use effect that will trigger in every changes on my use state event. And I'll do that here. Then like that. Then here I will going to console. Let me see countdown. Okay, we're gonna see if this value will appear to this use effect. Then here I will going to add the use effect in my React module hooks. Gonna use effect. It's there. Okay, so let's go back. Refresh. Now I think it is working. So it's reflected. If we're going to look at the console, now it is working there. Okay. So if we're gonna try to console immediately, like for example, or let me say here, like we're gonna say console log, then just to let you know what exactly what I mean when we're going to use the use effect, what is the different to apply? I mean to even though the use effect it's added before to this console, then we're gonna see that this will appear late on displaying this variable value, like do like that. And here save. If I were going to gonna say uh, line 8, then here I will going to copy this, then here gonna say line number 6, then let's go back. Okay, line number 6, all are line number 6, but here it's not displaying. If you look at that, let's save. Okay, here, so if you look at here, it is displayed twice. This is a normal. If you will might confuse that, why is it keeps I mean it, once you are going to work with your development, I mean in your local environment, this is a normal that it will keep twice to display your anything in your components, and that is the way how it will make it sure. Probably there's a good reason why it happens like that, but once it will deploy to your oxygen, then this kind of appearance will no longer appear the same on our local environment. So I think that's the thing that I could explain. And here, let's go back. So you see here, why is it that it is displaying first the line 8 compare with useEffect? So that is the common functions of useEffect. Then in useEffect, mostly we can apply our other normal native JavaScript like window object. Like if we are going to apply the window object, like for example, if I were going to console that's another good example here is a window. So now, if we're going to save that, then let's go back to our console. Then it will trigger this error that window is not available in our normal way how we're going to implement like that one. Window is not defined, but we can still do that if we are going to call that Windows object within our use effect, because use effect will only execute after your component is completely loaded to your browser. So it seems like this will also help to uh, let the developer to compose other functions that requires a window object or other object that requires like the document selector or anything that uses an ES6 version or ES7 and higher JavaScript thing. So that's it. That is the one thing. If you're gonna look at back in here, then refresh, then the error is gone, and it now applies the window. So this is the one thing that you must look at, how it use effect. It really helps to compose your own components in any React framework. Okay, so that's it. Let's go back to our implementation for the countdown. So here I will going to copy this. Let's copy that inside in our use effect. And now in our, I think I don't need this for now. This one. Okay, so here there are all uses of var. But why? What if we're going to apply this, all of this? Like for example, it keeps loop. It keeps looping. We're gonna add this variable. Then gonna put it here. Okay, I think we need to remove this var. Just go ahead and set the interval. And here, so we set 1000 milliseconds is equivalent to uh, 1 second. Okay, here. So it continues to loop this. I mean, it will continue to call this set interval infinitely. So now I will going to console the seconds, like console.log. Then let's go back in our console. What we're gonna happen? Okay, so it's still working. Now in React, this is no longer applicable because React uses a state. And as what I said earlier, it will track the state in a function component. So we could not easily apply this variable and put it into our element where we're going to display this variable. So we're gonna use a useState to make this complies in how we are going to build our React components. So here, if that might be not a perfect explanation, but I think what I trying to say that the normal way how we are going to work with our native, plain JavaScript, it's not the same anymore in our React components, or the framework that we've been doing is a really big different. Okay, so here we are going to declare a constant variable. So I want to display all of this uh, days like that. So first thing, are we going to add a count days, then another argument count days use state. Then here I will uh, define zero as any. So I'm gonna say any, so I can accept anytime any kind of value. So here I'm gonna add count hours, set count hours is equal to use state, then zero as any. Then here constant minutes, count minutes, then set count minutes is equal to use state, say zero as any. Here constant count seconds, set count seconds is equal to use state zero as any. Okay, so now are we going to apply this in here? So I think I already added a use state for the countdown date, and I think the date is should be it's too far. I will copy this one in state, go back here. I will put it here like that. Then here the countdown I will going to remove that because I already use it for the use state. Then now countdown now I need it as well. I'm gonna say count now set count. Now maybe you have a good idea how to optimize this components, then you can do that. But here this is only an example. Now we are going to mm, apply this here. Set sorry count count now. Then copy this date, put it here like that. I'm gonna remove this. Next one is set interval. I think I don't have that yet. See count time. Sorry, time to date. Set count time to date is equal to use state zero as any. Here we're going to set count time, then count down date minus count now. Okay, remove this. Okay, time now count. You're gonna try that one. Copy, copy that. So here we're gonna try to look at the console if it's still working. Go back. Now it says zero. Okay, it becomes zero because the set count time date should be the second console. Okay, here set count now. Skip. Then here I will going to set this as well. Set count days. Go back to your add that one. here set count, I'm gonna say hours here. Then another one, set count minutes. Okay, let's try to do a short debug to this. So we're gonna try if this variable it's showing the right counting, the correct calculation. We're gonna do that. Then go back to our page. Yes, I think it is. I might be something wrong with my codes countdown. Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, I think I used to declare the. I was gonna say try this. Try this. Go back. Now it seems working. So let's try the other one here. The hours. Why hours are zero? Count hours. Then here count minutes. Then here count seconds. Save. Go back. All right. So it seems the hours is okay. So now, okay, I will try to check this one. Maybe this might small problem with that. I will going to paste this inside if everything will change. Okay, now the hours are now working fine. So I think that's it. Now I think we could not put together all of those hooks that you might need in creating a React components. Then I think I'm gonna split this video and I'm going to move those another hooks, which is the useHydrate, useMoney, Suspense, and useFetcher to a part another part of this session. So now I will going to use the useRef. So let's go back here. So I want the useRef will be applied on this uh, element. I will going to change the color or the background or a flashing to that. So how are we gonna apply the useRef to this? Okay, so the useRef that it means that it allows us to persist value between renders. So it means it will be also applicable if we're going to assign an element instead of what we usually do in our native JavaScripting. We're going to put this element to a variable like document query. Like if I were going to use the old, I mean the native, we're going to see here like say ref element, then element is equal to document query. So what this is what we usually do in defining our element, but in React we have this kind of hooks that we can use like oh we don't need that anymore. We're gonna say ref announcement ticks. Then here we're going to call the use ref is not there. No, no, this is not the one. Ref. Then I will define as null as any as well. Any, so I can accept what will be the value will be added to that. Use ref. Okay. Now I will going to assign this use ref in this text. I'm gonna do it like ref. Then this is a props to this references. We're gonna say ref announcement like that. Then here I will going to apply it within this uh, account set count days. Okay, so what we need to do here is to add a modulo functions to our value. So instead of doing to have an alternate value, we're going to add here another use effect. So as what we see that the value changes that keeps uh, change in every second is the use state count second. So we're gonna use that variable here. So count state seconds. Then here we're gonna say console log count seconds. And we're gonna say how this will applies. 44. Okay, so now the sequence is now appearing. So we're gonna add modulo function. Then we're gonna say two to take the odd and even value. Press. Okay, now it's working fine. Now let's go back. Now I want to have a condition here. If count seconds 2 is equal to 0, then I will going to use the ref announcement as current, then set, oh no, sorry, style that set property, then you know, say color will be the text color. We're gonna say color dot white. Then here else, or I think the best way is to instead of this, there will be a best implementation to that. We're gonna say question mark. Then here, we're gonna go like this. Ref announcement current, then style, then set property color to transparent, maybe transparent. Then here, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try if this will work. And let's go back to our preview. All right, so now it's flashing. It's flashing now the announcement uh, line to our announcement bar. And I think the sequence is also running. And I think that's it for this video. And I will be adding another part of this hooks. And I think the remaining hooks that we're going to work on is the useHydrated, useMoney, Suspense, and useFetcher. And I'm hoping that this video will help you to start working in your first component adding to your Hydrogen app. Thank you for watching. I'm looking forward for another video and see you soon. Bye for now.